Hey everybody, I'm JJ Johnson, you're watching Reality of Survival, and today we are going to talk about Battle Box Mission 38. There was a little bit of they sent out this notice letting everybody know that there was a little bit of a mix-up on the knife of the month. Basically, it's just the knife that you're getting this month was supposed to be next month, and instead it's vice versa. No big deal. It's pretty cool knife. We'll get to that here in a little bit. Here's the card for this month, if you want to take a look at the prices and all that kind of stuff. So let's start out with the basic box, and that is the Esbit cooker stove. These little stoves have been around for a long time, and they're actually pretty cool little devices. They work great with like a little canteen cup, and essentially you take a cube or so and you throw it in the bottom here. You put it up like this actually, and you can use the stove either way. Let me just clarify that. You can put it this way. You can put little sticks and stuff underneath it, and you can burn fire that way. You can put the Esbit cube like this in here and burn it that way, and put like your canteen cup or your little pot or whatever over the top of it. Doesn't really make any difference, but it's a super lightweight little stove for heating up water and stuff like that, for having lunch out on the trail and whatnot. Esbit stoves Esbit cubes are one of my favorite tinders because they burn hot, they burn for a long time, and they're light and easily portable, and they're pretty cheap too. So this is a pretty cool little item in my opinion, you know, for backpacking and stuff like that. And this is the day hike or backpacking edition, so that goes along with that theme pretty much perfectly, if you ask me. Okay, the next one is a 2-liter hydration bladder, and it does not give a name on what company it is that produces this, but it sure looks like it's an awful lot like it's designed like a Camelback. The opening and all that kind of stuff is really quite similar, if not identical, to a Camelback. So if it's not Camelback, I'd be surprised. But this will fit in any backpack, and it will probably also go nicely in the backpack that they sent in this box as well. One thing that I would caution to people, and this has actually got the disconnect so you can clean out the hose and stuff like that. That's really cool. What I would caution you on these, and what I've learned over the years, because I've used hydration bladders for 18 plus years, is don't put anything in it but water. As tempting as it is to, you know, put in your Kool-Aid mix and all that kind of stuff or whatever, don't do it. Only put water in here, because they'll stay much cleaner and they'll be a lot easier to clean out if you do that. When you put any kind of powdered or sugary drink mixes into this, it is a nightmare to clean, so just don't do it. That's my advice for you. Anyway, it's got a good bite valve. Looks like a good little hydration pack, or little hydration bladder. So that's pretty cool. Let's see here. The next one is the Explorer Compass. I've never heard of the brand Explorer before, but in looking at this compass, it kind of reminds me of like a Brunton, and it looks like a pretty decent compass. Really does. I've checked it against some of my other compasses, and for me, it is pretty darn, you know, accurate. I'm sitting over a metal table right now, so it's got the mirror in there, and it's a base plate compass. You know, it's adjustable dial and everything like that. It's a fully functional compass that's going to work great for you. I'd say the only thing that it doesn't have on here that I'd maybe like to see it have is a lanyard hole. But that's about it, and that's no big deal. So compass is a hugely important item to have in your pack. I would recommend always having a compass with you anytime that you're going to go into the woods. Seriously. So if you don't have one and you got this month's package, then you're good to go. Alright, the next one is some comfort insoles. Now, again, they don't say what brand they are or anything like that, but they look like a gel-filled You know, one size fits all kind of thing. You can it's labeled here, so you can trim it off for your size of foot. Looks like it goes all the way out from like a 13 down to like a size 8, and they do seem like they're pretty comfortable. You know, it's got some kind of soft suede here, and then it's kind of like a gel, you know, on the inside. So that's pretty cool. Keep taking care of your feet when you're on the trail is very important. My one recommendation on this would be that make sure you wear these for several miles before you go out on your hiking trip. Make sure they're broken in, make sure they fit into your shoes really well and all that kind of stuff, because you don't want to go out there without, you know, having tested this stuff, because then you might end up with blisters, or it might roll up on you, or whatever the case may be. So, all right, that's it for the basic box. Now we're going to go to the advanced box, and it is a BattleTac 40-liter hiking pack. So that is pretty cool. I mean, this actually looks like a really decent pack. I gotta say that of all the backpacks that they have sent so far that I have seen in the last year and a half or 2 years, how long I've been reviewing BattleBox, this is probably the best backpack that they've sent. It is highly usable. I'm not a huge fan of the orange. However, in non-tactical times, orange is highly visible. It's good in case you got lost. You know, there's nothing wrong with wearing an orange pack. I would prefer a more subdued color, but that's just me. But anyway, you know, as far as the pack itself, it looks very usable. You got one kind of accessory, like sunglass package up here. It's kind of lined with like a fleece so that it won't scratch up the items that go into it. Then you've got the next main compartment, and that's a bigger pocket. Goes just about the length of my arm down in there. It's just one solid pocket, so you could get lots of good stuff in there. Zippers seem to work pretty smoothly. Let's see, in the third big pocket, we've got a big sleeve on the outer side, and then on this inner side, you've got like almost like a laptop, like a small laptop pocket, or your hydration sleeve. So you could slide the hydration bladder, you know, down in here, and then you could probably run this strap through here, hook it through your little hook on top of the bladder, and then attach it on the Velcro there, and that's going to just keep it from sliding down too much. So that's going to probably work out pretty well. And then if I had to guess, you probably got some holes. Yep, right here. There's a port to run your hose through. Let's do that. So that'll go through like that. So that's pretty cool. That all fits really well, and again, it's just one big deep compartment. You can put an extra change of clothes, socks, you know, that kind of stuff in there. You've got some mesh water bottle pockets over here. You've got some nylon loop laddering kind of on the back here. Put a sleeping bag or whatever with these straps here. And probably the best part about the bag is this. It really has some very good, you know, padding and netting here so that you get a good cool fit on your back. It's not making you sweat too much. You get some air ventilation through there. You've got a good hip and waistband, which is really important because you really should carry about 70% of your load on your backpack on your hip and waistband. If, believe it or not, if you didn't know that, if you're trying to carry a heavy load over long distances, they recommend to try to carry about 70% of the load on your hip pad. That's going to save your shoulders. Got some adjustments here for the shoulders. I'm pulling that up and making that fit nicely. You've got a clip to put in your hydration hose, you know, right there. Yeah, I mean, this is really just a pretty nice and well thought out little day pack. I don't really see any problems with it. It's a lightweight material. It's a ripstop nylon made by BattleTech. I got nothing bad to say about this at all, to be honest with you. I mean, it's just a good little day-sized pack. Let's see what's next. Okay, so the next item is, this is a Tribe One Outdoors exclusive battle box offer. It's a pack tack set. Now these supposedly work on all fabrics and tarps. I think the idea here is that you can take these clips and you can somehow, and I don't know exactly because I haven't done this yet, I've never seen it before, you can squeeze in some fabric and then these will give you like a good clip point to pull off of it. So like if you're making a tarp shelter or something like that, you can use these as the corners and stuff, and they, you know, won't pull out like the little brass grommets do in the corners and stuff. It's supposed to be a little stronger. I think that's the idea. So I've never tried these before, so I can't really comment on them too much, but it's an interesting concept and I'll have to give it a shot and see how they do. Okay, so the next thing is the Barrow Cook XL Stove and Mug Cook Set. Alright, now let's take a look at these. These look like an interesting concept to me. Again, I haven't actually used these before. The downside to them is that they require a fuel cartridge to run. So that's not the greatest, but if you are going hiking or spending time camping or something in areas that have no fire allowed and that, you know, require it all to be, you know, closed in and use a stove or whatever the case may be, but they don't allow open flames, then this might be a great option for you. And I think the general premise of this is that you basically put some water in here, and then you put these fuel packets down in here, and the water reacts with the fuel packets, and it causes the water to essentially boil up underneath this, and then it heats up what you have inside. And it comes with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these fuel container or fuel packets. So looks like it says it doesn't actually boil it, well, 98 degrees Celsius, so yeah, you're right up there, pretty close to boiling. So let's see here. So you open the Barrow pack, you put it in the plastic container, you add 120 milliliters of water, and you put the food bowl back in, put the lid on, and then it's going to start heating up, and you wait for 6 minutes and for soup, coffee, and tea, and you wait 20 minutes for pasta, and you're ready to go. So that's kind of a cool little deal. Again, it's got a few components to it. It's got a clear kind of plastic-like tub. It's got a little like a koozie kind of thing on it, you know, to keep you from burning your hands and that kind of stuff, and to also probably retain the heat. Then you've got like a stainless steel little tub, and then you've got your fuel packets, and then you've got the lid, pops on like that. So, kind of a cool little deal. I haven't ever used them, so I can't really comment on how well they work. To me, the downside is that you have to have the fuel packets, but you know, you could still cook on an open fire with the stainless steel tub, so, you know. Let's see, this next one is the mug. Very similar in concept and idea, except that you only get 2 fuel packets with this one. Pop the lid off. You have a, oh no, I apologize, 3 more in here. You get 5. So you've got like a stainless steel cup, and then you've got like a travel mug. This has got like a travel mug kind of lid on it, so that, you know, you can drink and not spill as you're going down the trail and stuff, enjoying your hot coffee in the morning or whatever the case may be. Again, you've got the clear Barrow cook container part, and you've got your neoprene sleeve to keep the heat in and keep you from burning yourself. Put some water in it, put a fuel packet in it, stick that on top, close it up, ready to go. And you know, that could probably be cooking even as you're going down the trail and stuff like that, if I had to imagine. So again, you get 5 containers or 5 fuel packs with that. I don't know how much these cost, these fuel packs. To me, that would be kind of a key factor in whether or not I would use it long term, because the expense of having to buy new fuel packs wouldn't be the greatest. But oh, I think I had that separately. Okay. Kind of a neat little deal. I'm just gonna have to give it a try to see if it works. I don't know. Okay, so that's all the Pro Box. And now we're down to the knife of the month. So this was supposed to be the Black Scout Feather Stick or something like that. It was Black Scout Survival's, one of his knives that he's come out with. And instead, they gave us a pretty cool multi-tool. This is the Sog Baton Q3. See if you can see that there. And I was just thinking not long ago that, you know, it sure would be nice if they would send a multi-tool or two, you know, in with the battle box, because since I've been reviewing them, I don't think they've sent one out. Well, now they have. Pretty cool deal here. This basically, it's like a little baton, you know, and it's just kind of flat like that. You pull it apart, and then there you go. As far as the pliers go, it feels very comfortable in the hand. They've done a very good job as far as the ergonomics go. I would suggest to you that these are not super heavy duty. You know, they are they've got a little set of wire cutters in here, and they are good for like your basic kind of stuff, like cutting fence, manipulating fence, and different things like that. But you know, they're not going to be like something you're going to pry on or whatever, because the arms aren't super duper thick, if you see what I'm saying. But they do have, you know, pretty good gripping power. Okay, so the other good thing about the way they designed this, let me show you here, is that it has a lock on it. So this is a blade, and it is quite sharp right out of the box. And then you've got to unlock it, you have to push right on the back right here to get it to come forward. So that is actually cool, because that's one of the most annoying things about multi-tools, is when, you know, you're using something and it unlocks and all that. You've also got a file, and let's see, what's the next one? What we've got on here? We've got a bottle opener and a flathead screwdriver. You got to be careful opening it when the knife's open. Then we've got a can opener. Kind of show you all of them as well. So that's all we got on that side. And again, those all lock in place when you've got them up. You've also got a pocket clip, so you can carry it down into a pocket, and that would probably fit pretty well that way. Let's see, on the other side here, again, these lock as well. We've got a very small little screwdriver tip. I don't even know if you can see that. Then we have an awl, nice little awl. That would be good for striking a ferro rod. It's nice and sharp. And we've got a #2 Phillips head driver. And last but not least is like almost like a big flat putty knife kind of edge. So that's pretty cool too. Looks like a pretty useful tool all the way around, in my opinion. And the value on that one was $94 just for the Sog Q3 baton. Pretty neat deal. I like it. Kind of pops right out. Cool tool. Okay, so not a bad month. Not a bad month this month. I think that You know, these are all items that could be useful depending on your circumstances and where you're going to go, where you're going to be hiking and stuff like that. Again, with the Barrow Cook, you know, they're going to be most useful in an area where you can't have open flame. And there are a lot of people who have to, you know, do backpacking and stuff like that, especially later in the summer. That becomes a lot more of a big issue. So kind of a cool deal. Anyway, guys, I'd love to hear your comments on this month's box. As I've always said before, I think there are basically two types of people who would enjoy using the Battle Box subscription. The first one is a person who has excess money each month and they just like to spend it on gear. And if they're going to buy a bunch of gear anyway, this is kind of a cool way to get a different, you know, surprise on what you're getting. It's kind of a fun thing if you've got the disposable income. The second group of people is people who look at the box and say, hey, I'd really like to have everything in that box. And then you can go back and you can buy those boxes after the fact, you know, from Battle Box, and I think that's kind of a cool deal as well. But it's not really something that somebody should use to build up your preps and to build up, you know, all your main gear. You're probably going to be more cost effective if you do that on your own, but that's just my opinion. You know, you guys could differ with me. Anyway, guys, as always, I definitely appreciate it when you click the thumbs up button, when you share it with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Don't forget to live the 6 Ps. Proper prior preparation prevents poor performance. Stay safe, guys.